Okay, so your workbook should be open to handout 6D, Getting Around. Go ahead and circle the title and number your paragraphs. Paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this first time, remember, you were annotating with your think marks from your packet, and then the second time, you were doing your 3 to 5 notices and 3 to 5 wonders. Okay, paragraph 1. The Nez Perce made large bags or suitcases, like envelopes, to store and carry their food and clothing. Parfleche, pronounced parfleche, were made from hides and were often beautifully decorated. They were easy to store inside the teepees and could be hung from the teepee poles. They could also be stacked on a travois for moving. And remember the travois? That's those odd looking sleds that we learned about last time. Paragraph 2. The Indians who lived on the plains traveled a lot, following the herds of buffalo and moving seasonally to areas with good supplies of other foods. They didn't use carts or wagons, but instead made a travois to carry their belongings. 2 long poles were tied together, and a person could hold the ends of the poles over their shoulders. The other ends of the poles would drag on the ground, so they formed like a V. And we saw a travois being pulled by a horse, but the Native Americans could also hold that V on their shoulders and pull it. The other ends of the poles would drag on the ground. Teepees, clothing, and other items were packed and tied onto the poles. Parfleches full of food and tools were tied on top. For many years, Indians used dogs to pull travois poles that were fastened to a harness made of strips of rawhide. After the Spanish ships brought horses to the New World, the Indians used horses to pull the travois piled with their belongings. Children could ride on top of the load. Some tribes made small pole carriages on top of the travois for young children to ride in, so they wouldn't fall off and get hurt during travel. Paragraph 3. People living near rivers or lakes built small boats from whatever was available. They used reeds, sewn skins, hollowed out tree trunks, or tree bark. Most canoes were steered with wooden paddles. On rivers where the water was too fast or too shallow, the canoe could be carried across land for a ways or portaged. All right, so make sure you have your annotation marks. Play this again to get your 3 to 5 notices and 3 to 5 wonders.